Right now, you listening to this are walking around with the ability to basically hallucinate emotions on demand.
Yeah, literally on demand.
Right. Like, think about it. You can be having just a truly terrible, stressful day.
Oh, we've all been there.
Exactly. Your energy is just drained. Your mood is totally flat. And then you put on a pair of headphones,
Yep.
and within like 30 seconds, vibrating air molecules hitting your eardrums completely alter your brain chemistry.
It's wild when you phrase it like that.
It is. They flood your nervous system with dopamine, they shift your physical energy, and honestly, they completely change your identity in that specific moment.
You do it every single day.
Every day. But when you actually look at the neurology of music, it's terrifyingly powerful.
It really is an invisible kind of magic that we completely take for granted.
Yeah.
Fundamentally, you're taking just a few minutes of, mathematically organized sound waves, and you're using them to hijack your own nervous system.
Just totally rewiring it.
Exactly. Rewiring your emotional state in real time.
Okay, let's unpack this, because our mission for today's deep dive is to figure out exactly how and why that happens.
Right.
We're going to look under the hood of human psychology using all these amazing sources to figure out what is really going on when you press play.
Because it's not what you think.
No, it's not. Like, is the music physically changing the structure of your brain in that moment? Or is it just acting like a skeleton key, unlocking psychological rooms that you already built?
Well, I can tell you that by the end of this deep dive, you are going to understand the invisible architecture behind your favorite playlists.
I love that.
Yeah, once you see the mechanical reality of what your brain is actually doing when you listen, I promise you, you will never listen to your favorite song the exact same way again.
I am so ready for this. So let's start right at the beginning, like at the very second those sound waves actually hit your ear.
Okay, let's do it.
Because intuitively, it feels like listening is a passive activity. You sit back, the sound washes over you, and you just sort of absorb it.
Right, like you're just a sponge.
Exactly. But if you look at the mechanics in our sources, the brain is actually burning a ton of energy, playing like a very high stakes game.
It's playing a relentless game of prediction.
Addiction.
Yeah, to understand music, you have to understand that your brain is essentially an advanced prediction engine.
Okay.
It evolved to constantly scan the environment and guess what's going to happen next. Because, accurately predicting the future is how you survive in the wild.
That makes sense. Like, is that rustling bush the wind or a tiger?
Exactly. So when you listen to a track, your auditory cortex isn't just chilling out. It's subconsciously mapping the beat.
Wow.
Analyzing the melody, tracking the chord progressions. It is rapidly creating this probability model of what the absolute next note will be.
So it's basically building a pattern and then sitting there waiting to see if it was right.
Yes.
I've always heard that this is where dopamine comes in, but people usually just call dopamine the pleasure chemical.
Yeah.
Like, you hear a good song, your brain hands you a little chemical treat, and you feel happy. Is that not it?
That is a massive oversimplification, and it really misses the true power of dopamine.
Okay, so what is it really doing?
Yes, it feels good, obviously, but dopamine is actually deeply involved in learning, in motivation, and crucially in anticipation.
Anticipation.
Right. The dopamine system doesn't just reward you for getting what you want, it rewards you for figuring out the pattern.
Oh, man. I always think of this, like waiting for the punchline of a brilliant joke.
Well, that's a great analogy.
Because if someone just walked up to you on the street and yelled the punchline out of nowhere, you wouldn't laugh.
You'd just be weirded out.
Right. It would just be confusing. The tension, the buildup, the expectation that the comedian is leading you somewhere specific, that psychological tension is where the real magic happens.
Yes, exactly.
The anticipation is almost more enjoyable than the laugh itself, in a way.
And that is exactly what the neuroscience shows us about music. The anticipation itself is the reward.
That is so cool.
When you're listening to a song, the most powerful, chemically rewarding moment usually isn't the massive chorus.
Wait, really? It's not the drop?
Nope, not the big beat drop. It's the 3 or 4 seconds right before it happens.
Wow.
Because your auditory cortex has mapped the pattern. It knows the drop is coming, and your brain is just flooding your system with dopamine purely from the expectation of that pattern resolving.
Which completely explains why live music is so incredibly thrilling.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, if you go to see your favorite artist, they might hold that one famous note just a half second longer than they do on the studio album.
Yes.
And by delaying that resolution, they are basically like playing jump rope with your brain's prediction engine.
They're teasing your dopamine pathways.
Yeah.
Because when the music perfectly meets your brain's expectations, you feel satisfied. But when the musician delays it,
It breaks it.
yeah, or breaks the pattern in a really clever, interesting way, your prediction engine gets spectacularly surprised.
And it likes that.
It loves it. And that surprise is what triggers a massive neurological response.
But, okay, if our brain is just a prediction engine playing a guessing game with sound waves, why does a spectacular surprise result in a physical manifestation?
Ah, right.
Because we aren't just talking about feeling a little jolt of happiness. We are talking about literal goosebumps.
Yeah.
Chills running down your spine, your physical body reacting to invisible sound. How does that happen?
Well, what's fascinating here is the communication happening deep inside the brain.
Okay.
When a song gives you chills, which, by the way, is a sensation known as frisson. Frisson, got it. It's because the music has simultaneously activated your auditory processing and your brain's primal arousal and survival systems.
Like the amygdala.
Exactly, the amygdala. It processes intense emotions and threats.
Right.
So when there's a sudden dramatic shift in a song, say, a huge change in volume, or an incredibly powerful vocal run that leaps an octave.
Or a massive buildup that suddenly drops into total acoustic silence.
Yes, exactly. Your auditory cortex detects an anomaly.
It detects a break in the pattern.
Bingo.
But wait, if this whole chill response is just the amygdala getting startled by an unexpected noise, are chills just a physical reflex?
What do you mean?
I mean, is it essentially the same as touching a hot stove? Your hand jerks back automatically, but you wouldn't say you have a deep, beautiful emotional connection with the stove?
That's true.
So is the music just hacking our reflexes with sudden noises?
It's a great question, but there is a crucial neurological difference between a reflex and a musical chill.
Okay.
When you touch a hot stove, the pain receptors send a signal to your spinal cord, and your spinal cord yanks your hand back before the signal even reaches your brain.
So it's totally bypassing the brain.
Right. It is purely mechanical. There's no higher level processing.
Yeah.
Music is completely different.
How so?
Because a sudden musical shift isn't just a loud noise startling you.
Yeah.
The chills happen specifically because the higher level processing centers in your frontal lobe analyze that unexpected sound.
Okay.
And they determine that it is emotionally significant to you.
Oh, interesting.
If a balloon pops behind you, you jump, but you don't get a wave of euphoric goosebumps, right?
Definitely not.
With music, the amygdala gets startled by the volume change, but immediately communicates with your reward pathways and your memory centers.
So it's like a full brain conversation.
Exactly. Your brain realizes, wait, this isn't a threat. This is a beautifully complex pattern. And it converts that primal startle response into an overwhelming emotional thrill.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. The emotional processing is the bridge that allows a simple sound wave to force your nervous system to light up.
Precisely.
But, if our brains are so obsessed with this dopamine reward loop and this physical thrill of anticipation, it completely contradicts one of the most common things we do as humans.
Oh, you mean heartbreak playlists?
Yes. Here's where it gets really interesting. If the entire mechanical purpose of our brain listening to music is to crave dopamine and experience pleasurable arousal, why on earth do we deliberately sit in the dark after a bad breakup and play the most devastating, depressing music we can possibly find?
It seems like a total paradox, doesn't it?
It makes no sense. Logically, if you are sad, your energy is low, and your mood is dark, you would think the brain's survival mechanism would compel you to put on upbeat, high-tempo, happy music.
To force your neural entrainment in a positive direction.
Right. If the brain wants dopamine, play something fun. But we don't. We wallow.
We really do.
We actively choose audio that makes us cry harder. Why would a dopamine craving engine choose sadness?
Because we don't always want to escape sadness.
We don't.
No. Sometimes the primary human drive in moments of intense psychological pain isn't happiness. It's simply the desire to feel understood.
Wow. Okay.
When you're going through something traumatic or heartbreaking, your internal emotional state is usually chaotic. It's this vague, messy, heavy fog that you can't quite articulate, even to yourself.
And when you can't articulate it, it feels isolating.
Highly isolating. But then you put on a sad song, and suddenly the rhythm, the tempo, and the lyrics give that vague internal chaos an external structure.
What do you mean by external structure, like a framework?
Think about neural entrainment. Your brain naturally tries to sync your body's physical rhythms, like your heart rate and your breathing, to the tempo of the music you hear.
Okay, yeah.
Sad music is typically slow, steady, and deliberate. By syncing your biological rhythms to that slow, predictable tempo, the music acts as a geometric container for your messy feelings.
A container.
It takes the overwhelming fog of grief
Yeah.
and gives it edges and boundaries.
That is incredibly profound. It organizes the grief.
Yeah.
You hear your exact pain being expressed beautifully by someone else, and even though that singer is a total stranger who recorded the song like 5 years ago, you experience this deep sense of emotional recognition. You feel seen.
And feeling seen releases its own unique cascade of neurochemicals,
Like what?
like prolactin, which provides a comforting, consoling feeling. You're essentially using the external structure of the song to process your own internal chaos safely.
And this ability of music to reach in, give structure to our emotions, and physically link up with our biology, that has to be why music gets so permanently glued to our deepest memories.
Oh, without a doubt.
We use it to process our lives, so it literally becomes the backdrop of our lives.
It acts as a cognitive time machine.
I love that phrase.
Autobiographical memories become deeply entangled with music inside the hippocampus, which is the brain's memory center.
Right.
The auditory processing centers have very dense neural connections directly to the hippocampus and the amygdala.
Which perfectly explains why you can hear just like 3 seconds of a song from a summer vacation 10 years ago or from your high school parking lot.
Oh yeah, it takes you right back.
And you don't just remember the past. You feel like you are actually living it again.
It's immersive.
It's funny, we always talk about scent being the strongest trigger for memory. Like, you smell a certain perfume or pine needles, and it instantly transports you back to your childhood home.
Scent is an incredibly fast trigger, yes.
But music seems to go a step further than scent, honestly.
How do you mean?
Scent reminds me of the location. But music doesn't just remind me of the place, it actually reconstructs the exact emotional state I was in at that time.
That's a brilliant distinction. Scent triggers spatial and event memory. But music triggers the entire emotional network surrounding that memory.
Wow.
It forces your brain to recall how you felt, not just where you were. And that mechanism is incredibly powerful and sometimes dangerous when it comes to the people in our lives.
Right, because our brains create these dense associations over time until a song literally stops sounding like instruments. It starts sounding like a specific person.
Exactly. You listen to a track with someone you love, or it plays during a highly significant moment in your relationship, and your brain physically fuses the neural pathway of that song with the neural pathway of that person.
They become chemically linked.
Yes.
Which is the exact reason a bad breakup can completely ruin your absolute favorite song.
Oh, it ruins it forever sometimes.
I was thinking about this earlier. It's basically like a computer virus.
Okay, I'm listening.
Think about the acoustic properties of the MP3 file on your phone. It hasn't changed at all. The guitar riff is identically mathematically the same. The singer's pitch hasn't shifted. The container is exactly what it always was.
Right.
But the executable code inside the container has been overwritten.
Oh, that's good. Yes.
Before the breakup, your brain opened that file and the code triggered a massive dopamine release. Now you open the exact same file and the corrupted code triggers a system crash.
It triggers heartbreak.
Exactly. The sound waves didn't change, but the data those waves carry for your specific brain has been completely corrupted.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, it explains how music eventually becomes a core pillar of our identity.
Right, because we all have such different files.
Exactly. We use music to signal our values, our subcultures, and our communities. But it goes way deeper than just wearing a band t-shirt or saying you love jazz.
Yeah.
We literally listen to music through the filter of our own life story.
Because it's completely subjective.
Entirely subjective. Two people can sit in the exact same room, listen to the exact same audio frequencies playing from the exact same speaker, and have completely different neurochemical experiences.
That's wild.
One person hears the track, their hippocampus fires up a memory of their wedding day, and they feel a surge of romantic love and dopamine.
And the other person?
The person sitting next to them hears the exact same mathematical sound waves. Their brain accesses a corrupted file from a terrible breakup, and their amygdala triggers absolute anxiety.
We do not experience music objectively at all.
Not at all. We only experience it through the cultural and personal filters we've built up over a lifetime.
Which brings us to the most practical part of all this. Because once you realize that music is this incredibly potent tool for triggering memory, altering identity, and shifting physical energy,
Do you start to notice how we subconsciously use it in our day-to-day lives?
yes, we don't just passively listen to music anymore. We weaponize it to control our reality.
We use it for aggressive, emotional self-management. And you can see this behavioral loop everywhere, starting with the repeat button.
Oh man, the repeat button, the absolute destroyer of road trips.
So true.
Why do we find a song we love and proceed to play it 20 times in a row until everyone around us wants to throw our phone out the window?
It comes back to the brain being a prediction engine.
Okay, how?
When you hear a new song, your brain is burning cognitive energy trying to map the structure and predict the drops.
Right.
But when you play a song for the 5th, 10th, or 20th time, the cognitive load drops to 0.
Oh.
Your brain knows every single microsecond of the track. It is purely frictionless listening.
So it's just easy on the brain.
It's easy, but more importantly, if that specific song is tied to a specific emotional state that you want to remain in, replaying the song allows you to repeatedly strike that exact emotional chord. You aren't just listening to a melody, you are manually sustaining an emotion. You're refusing to let the feeling fade.
We are essentially hacking our own nervous system.
We really are.
And we do it with rhythm and tempo, too. We use fast, high BPM tracks to stimulate our motor cortex and force ourselves to move.
Like at the gym.
Exactly. And we use slow, ambient tempos to force our heart rate to calm down. Think about modern streaming apps. We curate these highly specific, hyper-targeted playlists.
Oh, yeah.
We have a deep focus playlist for work, a heavy gym playlist for working out, a driving in the rain playlist.
We aren't just categorizing audio files anymore. We're categorizing versions of ourselves.
Yes, exactly. We are matching the mood we are currently in, or we are actively applying a sonic tool to force our brain to change into the mood we want.
It's self-medicating with sound.
It totally is.
But this raises an important question.
Okay, what is it?
If we are constantly curating our sonic environment to manage our emotions and artificially stimulate our nervous system from the moment we wake up to the moment we go to sleep,
Yeah.
what happens when we remove the music entirely? What happens in the silence?
Oof. That is the truly unsettling part of this entire deep dive.
It is.
The idea of spending an entire day without music, like no AirPods on the train, no car radio on the commute, no lo-fi beats playing softly in the background at work.
Sounds incredibly peaceful to some people.
To some people, sure. But to a huge portion of the population, complete silence sounds utterly unbearable.
It's a profound psychological concept. Music fills psychological space.
Yeah.
It creates momentum and rhythm for mundane, repetitive tasks. But on a deeper subconscious level, many people use continuous sound to avoid being alone with their own thoughts.
It's like a defense mechanism against the void.
The void.
Seriously.
If you are constantly piping a customized, emotionally regulated soundtrack directly into your ears, you are heavily curating your internal monologue.
Right.
You are using the sound waves as a shield to keep the silence at bay. And the problem is, when the music stops, whatever you have been avoiding, repressed anxieties, difficult memories, complex life decisions you need to make.
It all just rushes in instantly to fill that vacuum. Because there's no rhythm to distract the prediction engine anymore. It has to look at reality.
Exactly. The brain has nothing external to process, so it is forced to process the internal.
So what does this all mean? We started this deep dive talking about that universal experience of having a terrible, exhausting day and having it completely transformed in 30 seconds by a single song.
Right.
And what is so incredible to realize now, after looking at all this neurology, is that the song didn't actually change a single thing about the physical world around you.
Not one thing.
The traffic you are sitting in is still terrible.
Yep.
The boss you have to deal with tomorrow is still stressful. Your bank account didn't suddenly get bigger, but the vibrating air molecules coming out of your speakers completely changed the way your brain experienced that reality.
It shifted the chemical lens through which you view the world.
Yeah. So the next time you put your headphones on and press play, I want you to really think about what you were doing. Ask yourself, why am I choosing this specific song right now? What version of myself am I trying to summon into existence?
It's a powerful exercise in self-awareness.
It really is.
And it leaves us with something critical to consider about how we choose to navigate the modern world.
What's that?
If our brains are constantly using these customized playlists to self-manage our moods, to trigger specific memories, and to fill all the psychological space around us, are we in danger of trapping ourselves in curated emotional echo chambers?
Oh, wow.
By constantly soundtracking our lives and optimizing every single feeling we have, we might actually be losing the ability to experience the raw, uncomfortable, but entirely necessary reality of an unedited, silent world.
Wow. We are so busy DJing our emotions that we might be losing the silence.
Exactly.
It really makes you rethink that terrible day, doesn't it? Before you instantly reach for the volume dial to fix your mood, maybe there is something incredibly valuable to be learned from just sitting in the quiet.